Hi, guys. Welcome to A Biblical Walk. If you're new, my name is Calissa. Today, I want to talk about how God is always working behind the scenes, even when we can't see it. So, I've been reading in 1 Samuel, and you can read all about this in 1 Samuel chapters 4 through 6, but I'm going to do a little recap. So, basically, Eli's sons, the priests, they were defiling God's sacrifices. They were not doing the sacrifices how God intended. They were being greedy. And so when the Israelites went to battle against the Philistines, God allowed them to lose. And during this loss, the Philistines ended up capturing and taking the Ark of the Lord. So, of course, the Israelites are devastated that the Ark has been captured. But we know that God disciplines those who he loves. There are consequences to our actions. But through this, we really see how God, even after we have gone astray, done wrong, he is still so merciful to us. So the Israelites are devastated that the ark has been captured. But what they didn't know is that God was working on it. Because the Philistines had taken the ark that did not belong to them, they had even set his ark up in their temple for their false god Dagon. And the Lord ends up striking the Philistines with tumors, with plagues. So the Philistines are like, we need to get this ark away from us. So they send it to another town. And he does the same thing. That town ends up coming with the plague. So they send it to another town. And by this point, they are terrified of God's ark and they are terrified of God. They decide that they're going to send God's ark back to the Israelites. They do not want it anymore. They realize that it was a mistake. So the Philistines send the ark back to the Israelites. The Israelites are working in the field, just going about their daily work. And here comes the ark of the Lord on a cart pulled by cows, and it comes into the field, and the Israelites rejoice. But what really stuck out to me was that the Israelites were just working in the field. They were just doing what they were supposed to be doing, and God brought the ark back to them. They did not even realize everything that was going on behind the scenes. They didn't realize that God was putting plagues on these people who took his ark from them. I can't imagine what the Israelites were feeling. They knew that God's ark was powerful. They knew that it was precious and important, and they probably felt really vulnerable without it. Because God allowed them to lose and allowed the ark to be taken away from them, they maybe thought that even God had abandoned them. So to look over while they are working in the field and to see the ark coming back to them, they did not have to fight for it. They did not have to go and try to get it. They didn't have to battle against the Philistines again. They were just where they were supposed to be, doing what they were supposed to be doing. And God had worked the rest out. This really struck me because how many times in our lives do we not see God working? Things are going wrong and we feel like God is not there. God is not seeing it. God is not working on our behalf. But the truth is, we don't know what God is doing behind the scenes. There is so much going on in every single one of our circumstances that we do not see and we don't know. You know, his ways are higher than our ways and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. But whenever we can only see from our limited perspective, it can be so easy to think that God has abandoned us, that his discipline will last forever, or that the consequences of our actions will never come to an end. But this is such a great example of how whenever we are doing what we are supposed to be doing, no matter if we have gone astray, no matter if we have messed up, whenever we come back to God and we are in the field working, doing the work that he has called us to do, being where he has called us to be, God is taking care of things behind the scenes. And we don't have to be able to see it to trust that he is working on our behalf. And even more importantly, the Philistines who had taken the ark of God now realized who God was. They realized that these were his people. This was his ark, that he was real. He was not a false god like their idol. So even in the Israelites' discipline, God was still glorifying himself, showing and proving himself to others. This also reminded me of the book of Ruth, whenever Ruth is in the field working, whenever she meets Boaz. You know, she was just gleaning the fields, trying to, what we would say, make ends meet, just trying to have something to eat, something to live off of. But she was where she was supposed to be, doing exactly what she was supposed to do. And she had no idea that God was working behind the scenes, that he had put her specifically where he wanted her, for her Redeemer, for Boaz, to come in. And through Ruth just doing what she was supposed to be doing, even if that was just working in the field, doing everything that she could do to try to get food for her and Naomi, God already had a plan for her. And as we know, Ruth actually becomes King David's great grandma, which in turn, she becomes Yeshua, Jesus's ancestor as well. So by her just doing what she was supposed to be doing and being where God had called her to be, she actually becomes a key component to King David and to our Messiah. God already had all of it orchestrated, just like he already had it orchestrated for the ark to come back to the Israelites. They just needed to be where they were supposed to be. So I pray today that if you're in a situation where it doesn't look like God is working and it seems like you are just doing the mundane, just trying to do what he's called you to do and trying to be where you feel like you are called to be at, and it doesn't look like anything is changing around you, it doesn't feel like you're maybe making a difference by just being where you are right now, I want to encourage you that no matter the situation, if God has placed you where you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And God is working on everything else behind the scenes. Sometimes I feel like we put too much on our own shoulders, you know. When we do what we are supposed to be doing, we don't have to worry if things are going to work out. Whenever we stay close to God, seek his kingdom first, he is the one who adds everything else to us. Stay encouraged and stay hopeful that while you're in that field just working and doing what you feel like you're supposed to be doing, that may just be the exact place that God needed you to be in order for him to bring your blessing and the plans that he already has planned for your life. I pray that this word has blessed you, and if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more like this, then press the subscribe button. And Lord willing, I will be back with another message soon.